A kitchen renovation is probably one of the most expensive renovations you'll ever do to your home. And deciding on how much is fair for your home, it can be a bit challenging if you have never done this before. I have renovated a few kitchens in my lifetime, and I can tell you it's never cheap and it's never what you think you're going to spend. No matter how much you budget for your kitchen, there will always be a little bit extra that you are going to have to pay. How much extra depends on how much information and how much preparation you do in terms of the planning and the contractor that you get. So I hope today's video is going to be a helpful one if you are planning to get your kitchen renovated. We renovated our kitchen almost 5 years ago, and I can tell you prices have definitely gone up since then. And today we will get into all of those, and I hope you enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mama Haudipela, and in today's video, I thought, let me take you through our kitchen renovation. In 2 months' time, it will be five years since we renovated this kitchen. I've been getting questions from some of you who may have seen my kitchen either on TikTok or on Instagram, asking me about the cost of the kitchen, if it's really what it is. So I think when we did the kitchen in 2020, it was listed as the cost was listed as 73,000 for what this kitchen would cost you. So I thought, let me give you the lowdown on what it actually cost us to get this kitchen from scratch to finish in 2020 and what you can actually expect to pay now. So now on Instagram, I think what it has been listed as is listed as you can get this kitchen for 100,000. So I am going to tell you how much it actually cost us in 2020 when we did this kitchen renovation. I will be giving you all the details from what we changed, why we changed it, what I still love about this kitchen, and 5 years on what I would love to change about this kitchen. Don't get me wrong, I still love my kitchen, but I think as the years have passed, I have noticed some things that are starting to bother me. Some of them have bothered me even in the beginning, but it wasn't such a big deal. But I think as time goes by, they are slowly starting to bother me a little bit, and I wish I could make changes to those things. I might make changes to some of them because some of them are not like really big things, but some of the things I guess I will have to learn to live with this kitchen. Maybe up until 10 years later when I can renovate this kitchen. So let's get into this video and I will tell you everything about this kitchen renovation. One of the biggest reasons why we wanted to renovate this kitchen was there was just not enough storage. When you look at the before pictures, this entire side of the kitchen was basically nothing but appliances and a kitchen sink. This all of these top cabinets were not there. It was just a wall of tiles, and over here we had a window. And also this fridge was just floating over here. It was not in a cabinet, it was just sitting over here, and it felt like it did not belong. Over on this side, on the island, they just had a slab of granite and there were no cabinets underneath, so there was absolutely no storage. So we wanted to get more storage in the kitchen and be able to have everything in its own place. The kitchen itself, the cabinets were still solid. They were made of solid wood, but I think over time they have started to wear off, especially on the area where the kitchen sink is, and from the door being left open. And I think they also had pets because the door was scratched and the cabinets were also scratched around the sink area. So the cabinets were starting to peel even though they were solid wood. And we just decided that, you know what, this is not going to work for us. Let's just replace the entire kitchen. We also wanted to add in a bigger stove, and we wanted to change the electric stove to a gas stove. And having a bigger stove meant that we were basically going to change also the entire side on this side. When we added a bigger extractor as well, the top cabinets also needed to change. So there was absolutely no way that we could have kept the cabinets that we had. So we had to do an entire gut job and start this kitchen from scratch. And And by doing that, we were able to add in the extra storage that we needed, adding in the extra drawers on this side and all the top cabinets on this side gave us all the storage that we needed in the house. And the bed is making noise. When it comes to cost, as I had mentioned, the price that we got for installing cabinets was given as 73,000. And what was included in that 73,000, I will tell you, is not the entire kitchen. The demolition was included in the 73,000, the installation of the gas line, the cabinets and the hinges, and also the electrical, because we had to put in an extra plug for the extractor, and we also had to put in an extra plug for the microwave. The plug for the dishwasher had to be moved a little bit, and that is why we ended up with electrical cost. And what was not included in the 73,000 obviously is the appliances. You know that you do not get appliances with your kitchen, and the handles. I got my handles from Handles Inc. in Cremaville. I wanted to have a brushed gold. I didn't want a shiny gold, and the ones that they had at Gelma was just not working for me. So I got my handles from Handles Inc. in Cremaville. And what was also not included was the taps and the basins. All the basins and taps we bought separately, and also the tile and the tile installation on the wall. We got our tile from Ital Tile. I think it's still available right now, probably selling it around 500 per square meter. And I just love this tile. I wanted a bigger subway tile that is not going to look too busy. So I got this at Ital Tile, and it was not included in the installation. So those are the things that start to drive the cost of your kitchen a little bit higher. So how much did we actually end up paying for the entire kitchen? We paid almost 200,000. So from that 73,000, you can see that it may be deceiving in the beginning. So when they tell you that your kitchen is 73,000, you get excited and you think, you know what, it is going to be something that we're going to be able to afford. But when you start to factor in all the other things, we realized that it was going to be a lot. Luckily, because we were planning to renovate the kitchen, we started buying our appliances earlier. Things like the stove, the dishwasher, they were bought before we started doing the kitchen renovation. So when we got the quotation, it was like, okay, we've already bought the appliances, so we might as well go ahead with the renovation. But the 73,000 sounded like it was something that was doable, considering all the other quotations that we got. We had gotten a quote from a guy that works with Easy Life Kitchen, and that quote had come at 120,000. And I think we also got, when we went to Leroy to get a quotation, they told us they're charging per square meter, and the prices per square meter were just high, especially for a cabinet that had shaker doors. So they were just completely out, and we decided to go with Mkabela Renovation, who did I think a good job, considering how the kitchen has lasted up until this point. So now let me tell you what are the things that I love about this kitchen. What I love about this kitchen obviously is the color. Blue and white are two of my favorite colors amongst others, and I think the blue just works nicely in this home. It's clean, it's timeless, it's not a color that you get bored with quite easily. And I think it also makes the kitchen look brighter, especially on the top side, considering that we don't get a lot of light in this kitchen. Right now it's almost 12 midday, and you can see all the light. It has gone from the kitchen and so now, but it still looks brighter because of the colors that we selected. So what I also love in here is the storage. We were able to maximize all the unused space in this kitchen. We were able to get all the storage that we needed to be able to pack everything that we wanted, and then some. Most of my cabinets are empty, and it's also because I don't have a lot of stuff, but also because we were able to add in so much storage in the kitchen. And another thing that I also love is the layout. The fact that now we are able to have a fridge that is not floating in the space. Now it looks like it belongs, and it just makes the kitchen feel open, and it's not like you're going to trip into something while you work in here, because the fridge being over here just made the space feel a little bit more cramped. So now let me tell you what I do not love about this kitchen and what I wish I could change. The first thing that I wish I could change in this kitchen that bothers me a lot, and I think it has also bothered me even from the beginning, are these glass cabinets. They are not the same size, and when I look at them from that side, yeah, it's not a big deal for some, but for me it bothers me. I wish they had made these two cabinets the same size, and that is something that actually I requested, that I want these cabinets to be the same size, but I still ended up with cabinets that were not the same size. And also, if you look at these lines over here, they are not properly aligned, and it annoys me from time to time. If I sit over there and I look in the kitchen, that is one of the things that annoy me about this cabinet. I wish we could fix these lines and have the doors being flush all the way. And also this extractor on the side is made of metal. This thing cuts me a lot when I'm cleaning over here. So I wish I could remove the extractor, do an integrated extractor, and get rid of this. But this was an expensive buy, so getting a new extractor, my husband will probably kill me if I tell him that I want to change the extractor and do a different one. So I would probably do an integrated extractor over here, make sure that these two cabinets are the same size, and get rid of that corner cabinet. That is also something that I mentioned in the beginning that I do not want, but I still ended up with a corner cabinet. The reason I removed a corner cabinet over here is because they are not easy to access, and being a short person, it means the back part of the cabinet is basically unusable for me. So I would change up that, have these two cabinets be the same size, and do floating shelves just for storage and decoration on the end of the cabinet on that side. And another thing that bothers me, let's look all the way up to the top. So if you look at the top of the cabinet, this whole thing here, the bulkhead over here, is just too big. The idea was to not have cabinets that are floating, but have cabinets that are all the way up to the ceiling. But this just looks wrong. This is too big and it's too boxy. I am thinking of putting in some molding over here around the cabinets, all the way around the kitchen. That way it looks finished and, it just doesn't feel like this is just a filler. So that is something that I can do with some... That is something that I can do with, what do you call it? Some molding for the ceiling. Right now I forgot what it is called. I could add that over there. But now my question is, do I add it all the way around the kitchen, or do I just do it over the kitchen cabinet? So please advise me if you think I should do it just around the cabinets, or do it the entire kitchen, considering that the entire downstairs doesn't have cornices. It's called a cornice. It doesn't have any cornice. It's because it's a slab ceiling, so we don't have any cornice on the entire downstairs, but I'm thinking of adding it around here just so that part looks finished. And what else bothers me in this kitchen? How could I forget the corner sink? This sink is a nightmare to work with. And another thing that bothers me is the white trim at the bottom of the cabinets. I wish we could have that repainted, so if we paint the cabinets, we will definitely be painting the trim at the bottom to also match the color of the cabinets. Around where the cabinets are blue, we will also paint the trim to be blue. I think that is it. Those are the two things that bother me, and otherwise I love my kitchen. So if you're considering renovating your kitchen, look into doing more research and more calculations outside of the costs that are listed on your quotation. And yeah, other than that, it's a nice kitchen. It's lasted for 5 years. We probably might need to do a touch-up of paint, especially on this door, because it gets used so much. It's been scratched by the keys, by the jewelry as we open the doors, but otherwise everything still works. We maintain it. When anything breaks, we fix it. Just like the bin drawer, because we use it so often, at some point it wasn't working properly, we fixed it. And yeah, this is my kitchen, and if you have any questions regarding anything that we have done in this kitchen, feel free to ask. I will leave the contacts as well for the company that did our kitchen in case you want to use them. you can do so. So I am at Mama Howdy Bella. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I hope to see you very soon in another one. Bye bye.